And of course, if you're with us, you must be careful not to show yourself anywhere that we don't consider safe, and to follow our advice. That's all the obligation you have, and you'll have to put up with it just as we do. But otherwise, you're entirely free. The work we give you to do won't be too hard. Don't be afraid of that. Well, will you come? How long is it until spring? Asked Kay. Until spring? Peppy repeated. Oh, winter here is very long. A monotonous winter. But we don't complain of that down here. We're safe there from the winter. Well, sometimes spring will come, and summer too, and they have their own time. But now, as we remember them, spring and summer seem as short as if they weren't much more than 2 days long. And even on those days, snow sometimes falls in the middle of the finest weather. The door opened. Peppy jumped. In her thoughts, she had moved too far from the bar. But it wasn't Frida. It was the landlady. She seemed surprised to find Kay still here. Kay excused himself by saying that he had been waiting for her, and at the same time he thanked her for letting him spend the night here. The landlady didn't understand why Kay had been waiting for her. Kay said he had had the impression that the landlady wanted to speak to him. He asked her pardon if that had been a mistake, and anyway, he must go now. He had been away from the school where he was janitor far too long. Yesterday's summons had been to blame for everything. He still had too little experience in these things, he said. He certainly wouldn't make as much trouble for the landlady again as he had yesterday. And he bowed, ready to go. But the landlady stared at him with a look in her eyes as if she were dreaming. That look of hers kept Kay there longer than he wanted. Then she smiled a little too, and only at Kay's expression of amazement did she wake up to some extent. It was as if she had been waiting for a response to her smile. But now, when none came, she woke up. You had the impudence to say something about my dress yesterday. Kay couldn't remember that. Don't you remember? You're not only impudent, but cowardly too then. Kay explained that it was due to his weariness yesterday. It was possible, he said, that he had talked about something or other, but he couldn't remember it now. What could he have been saying about the good landlady's dresses? That they were more beautiful than any dresses he had ever seen? Or at least he had never seen a landlady go about her work in such dresses before. Never mind about passing personal remarks, said the landlady quickly. I don't want to hear another word from you about my dresses. My dresses are none of your business. I forbid you to mention them, and that's that. Kay bowed again and went to the door. What do you mean, anyway? Called the landlady after him. What do you mean you never saw a landlady go about her work in such dresses before? Why say such pointless things? What could be more pointless? What do you mean by it? Kay turned back and asked the landlady not to upset herself. Of course his remark was pointless, he said. He didn't know anything about dresses. In his situation, any dress that didn't need mending seemed to him fine. He had just been surprised, he said, to see the landlady there in the corridor at night in such a beautiful evening dress among all those half-clothed men. That was all. Well, said the landlady, at last you seem to remember what you said yesterday, and you compound your impertinence with yet more nonsense. It is true that you know nothing about dresses, so let me earnestly beg you, kindly desist from passing remarks on fine dresses and what they are like, or about unsuitable evening dresses, or anything of the kind. And anyway, here a shudder seemed to pass through her. You are not to pay any attention to my dresses. Do you hear? And when Kay was about to turn away again, in silence she asked, Where do you get your knowledge about dresses then? Kay shrugged his shoulders to show that he didn't know. Well, you have none, said the landlady, so don't make out that you do. Come over to the office and I'll show you something. And then I hope you will leave off your impudence forever. She went ahead through the door. Peppy ran to Kay on the excuse that she wanted Kay to pay what he owed. They quickly came to an agreement. It was very easy, since Kay knew the yard with the gate leading into the side street. There was a little gate beside the big one, and Peppy would be waiting on the other side of it in an hour's time and open it when he knocked 3 times. The private office of the inn was opposite the bar. There was only the front hall to cross. The landlady was already standing in the lighted office, looking impatiently at Kay. But there was one distraction. Gerstacker had been waiting in the hall and wanted to speak to Kay. It wasn't easy to shake him off. The landlady joined in too, pointing out to Gerstacker that he was intruding. Where do I wait then? Where do I wait? Gerstacker could be heard calling as the door was closed, and his words were mingled unappealingly with sighing and coughing.